Congratulations. If you're watching this presentation, that means you have secured a face-to-face or an in-person interview, and this presentation is designed to help you prepare. Preparing is a two-step process. The first process is learning about the company and the products that they offer, and the second phase is getting ready for the actual interview. This presentation covers the first phase. There's a presentation that follows this that will help you with the actual interview. Candidates that are prepared have a lot better chance of winning than somebody who's not prepared. Many times we hear our clients tell us that the candidate just didn't seem to be prepared, didn't have good questions, didn't know the products. So you want to start right away. As soon as you know that you have this face-to-face interview, you want to start gathering information about the company so you can be prepared. Hiring managers want to hire candidates that show desire to come to work for their company, and the way that you show desire is through your actions, not words. A lot of candidates will go and interview and they'll say, yes, I want this job, please give me this job. That's different than the candidate who says, I went and looked at your products in a lab, I saw them working, I talked to some of the sales reps that work for you. It shows that you put in more effort. It's easy to say, easy to use words, but actually the actions to demonstrate that you really have desire to join this company. One thing you can do is if you're in the business already, if you're a sales rep in the business, then ask a hospital or a physician office, somebody who has the product or service, ask them about the company and the products. That's the best way to find out. You want to do this for yourself, not just to impress the hiring manager, because you're talking about changing your career. You want to make sure you're going to a good place. Talk to customers that use the product and service. Get their input, get their feelings, see what they say about the company. Better yet, if you know a salesperson who works for this company or maybe worked for the company in the past, definitely talk to them, seek out their opinion. If they're positive, they like the company, ask them to give a recommendation to the hiring manager. That's definitely an easy way to move forward in the interview process. Obviously, the easy stuff to do, but is time consuming, is review their website, review internet sources, dig around on the internet, find out what you can about the company that way. Creating a list of questions is something you definitely need to have, and this is a perfect time to do it in the early stages. Start making questions about the product, about when they're going to have new products, about R&D, what they have in the pipeline, service, customer support, anything that you think is critical that you need to know to make the decision. Please put those in writing and carry those to the interview. We have a lot of candidates who are eliminated because we'll talk to the client afterwards and say, they didn't ask me a single question about the company. They're out. So you've got to make sure that you ask questions. If you don't ask questions, then you haven't done your homework and it shows that you might not be interested. Here's a big one. Request a day off or a half a day off. Do not try to wing it and run by there and spend 2 hours out of your day, because every time that happens, when people do that, they don't take time off. Murphy's Law has it that their boss is going to come into town the night before, or they have a conference call that next day, and now this person has to cancel their interview. And canceling a face-to-face interview definitely does not help your cause. Ask the recruiter you're working with who's going to be at the interview, how many different people are you going to meet, and then once you know that, go to LinkedIn, pull up their profiles, talk to your recruiter, see if they know them, print those profiles out, review them, put them in a folder. People want to know that you've researched them, and it's definitely impressive when you can show that you know something about their background as well. Ask your recruiter about the hiring manager's interview style. Everybody has different interview styles. Everybody has different techniques. So the more you know about what type of questions and how to prepare, the better off you'll be. Bring enough resumes for everybody that you'll be talking to. Create folders, create presentation books. If you're interviewing 3 people, then bring 4, just in case somebody else shows up. You can make it a nice presentation book. The better it looks, the better chance you have as far as securing the offer. Keep a copy for yourself because they're going to ask you questions about your resume, and it's kind of hard without having one in front of you to remember exact dates or things that they may really drill in and ask you about. Here's a big one. Bring documentation that shows your previous accomplishments, what we call a brag book, letters of recommendation from previous managers or customers. Sales rankings are always great to have. Reviews. If you don't have rankings, then copy something off of one of your reviews that you can show that you always get outstanding reviews and what a previous or current manager may say about you. Emails. If you have emails that are congratulating you for a great victory, then you might want to have those as well. They say evidence defeats doubt. When the hiring manager is trying to make a decision on who to hire, the more tangible evidence of success that they have, the more likely that you're going to get the offer. Create a business plan. Hiring managers are very busy. They do not have a whole lot of time to train and coach candidates. And most of our clients will, they'll definitely help you, but you have to realize that everybody's busy, and the least amount of effort they can put into a new person to get them up and going, then the better off they are. The more productive that person will be, and the more productive the manager will be. So basically, you want to think about, hey, you're taking this job. How can I rapidly get ramped up in this job, and then convey that to your manager? You might want to find out what sales training programs they use. If you know they use Spin Selling, then go get the book Spin Selling and start reading it. If they use Miller Heiman Strategic Selling, get that book. So try to find out what type of sales training they have. If you do not have or have not been through that course, then start putting yourself through it. Don't wait to start right away, and let the manager know that, hey, I'm going to start. That's going to be in my first, even before I start, during my 2-week notice, I'm going to be reading that book. Maybe if one of your current accounts has the equipment in their office or lab, then go to them and ask them. I suppose ask them if you could come in for a day or two to really learn the technical ins and outs of the system. So once you start with your new company, you could tell your hiring manager, hey, listen, I have a client that I've worked with for years. I'm good friends with them. They said that I could come into their lab and observe their equipment being operated for a couple days. That would give me a perspective from a customer's view on what they like about the system. So that would be one way that you could ramp yourself up. So those are just creative ideas you want to put in a business plan, like in the first 30 days, to let the hiring manager know that you are self-motivated and creative in getting yourself ready to come to work for them. Obviously, ask your recruiter for suggestions on business plans. They can definitely help you out. So anyway, a lot of work goes into getting ready. Congratulations on getting this far. If you do the work, if you take the actions that we talked about, then you'll have a very good chance of securing the offer.